pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated.
Amen.
Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I so moved.
Ms. Ely, do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion? All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Do we have any public comment? No public comment. Do we have any board comments?
Yes, I do want to thank everyone for the gifts from the schools. Always very nice every year to receive that appreciation. Also, Thomas Walker girls, they play for a championship tomorrow night. I want to invite everybody to come down. I understand Lehigh's playing too, right?
They're playing away though, aren't they?
Okay. We're working on getting the students in free for that game, but they're done well this year, and I do want to invite everybody.
So I want to congratulate some wrestlers from Lehigh School. They were in the Mountain 7 District Tournament last week, and we had the following results. Grayson Huff finished in first place, Casey Mooneyhan in first place, Logan Moore in second place, Luke Mullins in third place, Jake Mullins in third place, and Eli Penix in fourth place. So I want to congratulate them for the hard work they put in and the good results they've seen from it. Also want to just mention some things. The legislature's in session, and I've just been keeping up with it in the Richmond paper and such, and I did notice that the Virginia Senate last week passed the bill, or this week maybe, passed the bill to ban mask mandates so that everybody would have the opportunity to attend school without having to wear a mask. That's going to pass the House of Delegates. The governor's going to sign it. I think that will take care of all the issues, hopefully, that people are having to deal with, school boards are having to deal with. I think it'll make moot the lawsuits that have been filed against the governor's executive order, and maybe we can get back to school in somewhat normal fashion for those who don't want to wear masks. There was a second Senate bill that also passed that I think's made the news, but I think it's going to pass the House delegates and also the governor. Let me go back to the mask ban bill. There may be emergency legislation attached to that so that it takes effect immediately and that it doesn't have to wait till July 1st to take place like most new laws in Virginia do once they're passed. So that would be good if we could get that started immediately. The second Senate bill that passed requires localities to adopt policies informing parents of any sexually explicit content used in the classroom. And it also requires the school to provide an alternative if the parent requests that. So I think that's another good thing that allows parents to have a choice in how their child's educated, and that there's not certain subjects, not math and science obviously, that are forced upon their kids in their classrooms in Virginia. So just wanted to mention that so everybody's aware of that if you didn't know already.
Been big in Tennessee too.
Any other board comments?
Yes, I'd like to recognize Lehigh band students that represented the school at the All District 7 band concert, which was held in Bristol. And those students were Avery Lawson, Kylie Phillips, Katie Tomlinson, and Talmadge Gunter. And a big thanks to Patrick Allen doing a good job of being band director at Lehigh, and we appreciate his work.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, I'd like to say congratulations to Thomas Walker Lehigh people. I'm proud of their children and what they're achieving. And also thank you so much to all the schools for our gifts for Appreciation Month.
Okay. So on the consent agenda, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve it, and that consists of approval of the minutes for the January 13th, 2022 regular meeting, approval of claims and expenditures, approval of disposal of surplus property per school board policy DN, disposal of surplus items, approval of field trips, SCTC, DECA State Competition, Virginia Beach, TW, VT Block and Bridle FFA Competition, and also approval of authorization for the division superintendent to fill vacancies existing or occurring between February 11th, 2022 through March 9th, 2022. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion carries 5-0. Reports of the board. No reports of the board. Reports of the division superintendent.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, this is School Board Appreciation Month. I think all of you received your gifts in the small boardroom. That's acknowledging all the schools. I want to say thank you. I mean, I've been doing this for a little over a year. All of you have been wonderful. Anytime I need to talk to you, anytime I need to get a hold of you, all of you are very available. I think the public, you're available for all of them. I appreciate what you do. I don't think you have an easy job. You're trying to make, 20,000 people happy across the county for 3,000 students, and it's not easy, and we appreciate what you do. All of you have a certificate of appreciation from the School Board Association in front of you, but I just want to say thank you for what you do each and every day for the students of Lee County.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This is also, next week is School Board Clerk Recognition. I'll ask Mr. Hines if he will. We have certificates for both Karen Combs and Christine Wells. If they will step up, Mr. Hines is going to present those both with their certificate. They're clerks of the board. We appreciate everything that they do. Members of the board, if you would like to chime in here, I think both ladies try to make your all's job a little easier, and they try to help you. But we appreciate what they do. I know I do, and I think you all do as well.
I know I do.
Thank you, ladies.
Two of the finest.
Yes, they are.
Thanks, guys.
But I do appreciate them, and they help make the meetings and daily go by a lot easier. This is School Counselors Week. In your packet, you have a list of all the school counselors across the county at each school, and our 2 SAP counselors. Just wanted to make sure that you knew the names of all of those and you could recognize those. Next week, we have School Bus Driver Appreciation. You have a list of anyone who has driven a school bus or currently driving a school bus for Lee County, both full-time and subs. We appreciate what they do. Driving a school bus, I think, ladies, you all have done that. That's not an easy job, but there is a day to recognize them, and if you get a chance, please tell our bus drivers you appreciate what they do. February is also Career and Technical Education Month. We have a great CTE program at the Career and Technical Center and at Thomas Walker. Ms. Snodgrass is here. She's one of our CTE instructors. I would put our group up against anybody. We do a good job instructing our students and teaching them skills that can help all of us in the future and give them, opportunities in the future. So I appreciate what they do and everything that that group does. It's also Black History Month. I put a copy of Governor Youngkin's proclamation in your packet. Kingsport Times News drawing cards, all of those came from Elk Knob. I encourage you to look at those when you've got a chance. The Ride On program, they're all from Jonesville Middle and Pennington Middle this month. So if you get an opportunity, please look at those. Enrollment is identical to what it was last month, 2,792. You've got a copy of the operations update in your packet. You have a copy of the transportation update in your packet. I will say we've had some challenges with transportation. We went out and run roads several mornings. The weather has not always been very cooperative, but we try to have school every day that we can, but I think you all know I'm not going to take a chance on putting a bus load of kids on a road that I don't think is safe or the possibility of it not being safe. Graduation dates are included in your packet. Friday, May the 20th at 5 Star Stadium for Lee High. Sunday, May the 15th at 4 o'clock in the Thomas Walker Gym. So encourage you to put those on your calendar.
What time is Lee graduation?
Lee graduation at 7 o'clock. So please keep those in mind. Wanted to give you a COVID update. So far this year, we've missed 10 days of school. 2 of those were just, I guess what you call a kind of a traditional snow day. One was on a Friday, and one was right when we came back from Christmas break. And we've had 8 remote learning days. The code was changed this year to allow us to do up to 10 remote learning days. With your blessing, I will send the state superintendent a request for a possibility of 5 more. They said they would look at those on an individual basis. I think we probably still got some winter ahead of us. that we could possibly need those, so I'm gonna ask the state superintendent for 5 more. Not that we would need them, or not that we would use them all, but I wanna go ahead and have those on hand if we do need those. Our numbers are down from last week. I think last week we had 88 students test positive, 19 staff. So far this week, with only one more day to go, we only have 24 students who have tested positive. And 12 staff. 12 staff.
I'm sorry.
Going back to the remote days, I know I've talked to a lot of people across the county. It's kind of like every other item in the world today. A lot of people were happy about the remote days and a lot of people were not. I did tell you all before this school year started that we would do some based on the forecast. I'm not a meteorologist. They don't always get it right. So if they predicted something, I would go ahead and sometimes call it. We would send food home. Some people wasn't happy, but you know, I think we're trying to do what's best and make sure people are fed and people are safe. But just wanted to make that note. Also, in your packet, you have a copy of a letter that I plan to send out to the school community tomorrow. In that letter, the Department of Health is changing their direction. They are no longer investigating and quarantining on every case. We will follow suit, which will mean there will be probably very few students quarantined from now on. Still got to stay home 5 days if you're positive. If you come back after your 5th day, you come back on your 6th, you need to wear a mask, days 6 through 10. Staff members are supposed to still wear their mask. The Department of Labor and Industry is meeting soon. I think that will change. I put in there that if that changes, masks will be optional for staff as well. We'll continue social distancing, cleaning. Really want to emphasize, if you're sick, stay home. That is the biggest concern that we have. We have people sending children to school sick. We turn around and try to send them home. We can't always get a hold of someone. They sit in a quarantine room possibly all day. It's not always COVID, but if your child is sick, they probably need to go to a doctor or stay home. So we need to emphasize that. Under the federal regulation, we still have to require masks on school buses and any car that is transporting students. So if you've got a driver's ed car, they should be wearing a mask. If we're transporting kids to Minnick, they would need to wear a mask in there. But just wanted to let you all know I'm going to send that letter out, and maybe you all won't be getting as many complaints from some of the people whose child has been quarantined 3, 4, or 5 times, because we won't be doing that as much anymore. We will only quarantine if we think there is an outbreak with the help of the Department of Health, or if there is a very high level of transmission. So just wanted you all to be aware of that. That letter will go out tomorrow. And there is a copy of a map in your packet. VDOT has proposed some changes to the road down at Thomas Walker. Mr. Kidwell, you're probably more familiar than anyone. There is that little short cut across there coming up by Black Diamond. We have had a bus accident, I think, in the last couple of years there. They're proposing taking that out and putting an entrance on up. So instead of somebody trying to cut across there real short and quick, they would actually go on up the road toward the tennis court and then enter the parking lot. They think that would be safer. On your map, they do show a turn lane in front of the school. They said they were probably not going to do that. Mr. Poe sent me this and asked me to show it to you all and make sure you were aware of the possibility of some changes down there.
The one in front's already there.
A turn lane?
Yeah. Oh, a middle lane. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
They said they probably would not be doing that. But I think that would be a little safer, because I know people shoot across through there, and I guess try to cut that real quick.
The side road there, it's kind of a one-lane road going up by the tennis courts. And yeah, if there's somebody sitting there to come out on the road, you got to get in the middle of the road, you can't get out of it.
So just want to make you all aware of that. In your packet, you've got a copy of all of the school calendars.
But this is not going to cost us anything.
No, this is just for your information. This does not cost the school system anything. We eliminated calendar Ms. Belcher, help me here, 2, 5, and 6, I believe. Those only received 10% or less of the vote when we had a vote. We added calendar 7 and 8 and sent that out for a new vote. When Ms. Belcher closed that today, calendar 8 had 32% of the vote. Calendar 3 was second with 26, followed by number 1 at 20 and number 4 at 18, and number 7 got less than 1% of the vote. I would recommend calendar 8 because I think it gives people more of what they're looking for, starting a little later, but that semester ending before Christmas. So I would ask that you all approve calendar 8 for next year's school calendar.
Okay. So we have a motion as to the school calendar. Which one you want to adopt?
So make a motion, we approve calendar 8.
Calendar 8, we have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of calendar 8, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0, calendar 8. Action discussion items.
Mr. Chairman, Head Start is still an issue, and Mr. Sturgill may chime in on this. Virginia, my understanding, has not joined the lawsuit, or there's a technicality about why they didn't join it again, or when the...
They have joined the lawsuit.
Okay.
However, there's not an injunction actually signed for Virginia this time.
Okay,
So they have joined the lawsuit, but at the same time, the judge has not signed an injunction for Virginia to be one of the divisions that does not have to comply with the mask mandate.
so with that not in place, we have to comply with the vaccine and the mask mandate.
Correct.
The documents that you have are Mrs. Baker's update to make sure she follows what she has to follow to be in line with the law. We hope that that injunction is signed, but since it's not, I need the vaccine policy and procedure amendment approved. Just put the memorandums in there with Frontier Health and Stone Mountain. Stone Mountain is doing our testing currently with Head Start at no cost to the school system. But we do need to approve the memorandums of understanding and the vaccine policy and procedure update for Head Start.
So do you have a motion?
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? So basically, this is something we just have to do to follow Head Start guidelines for current.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's all I have, sir.
Motion passes. Thank you. Do we have a motion? Get my paper up here. I'll make the motion actually go into closed session to discuss personnel under Code of Virginia Section 2.2-3711A1, student discipline under Code of Virginia Section 2.2-3711A2, and pending and threatened litigation under Code of Virginia Section 2.2-3711A7. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now in closed session.